Hey, do you mind? It's kinda cold out here all of a sudden. I'm gonna go find somewhere to get warm. Ah, perfect. A tavern. Wasn't I just in Nod Crime mere seconds ago? Well, not anymore. Yeah, just give me an apple cider, thanks Charles. Have you noticed how interiors in Genshin never seem to match their exterior counterparts? Misplaced walls or windows, spaces that are low-key creepy. Today, I want to take us around all the interior, well, mostly interior spaces of Genshin to see if they make sense. Now, this is a bit difficult because where exactly do you draw the line? Of course, we can consider interiors that are different spaces, but what about the ones in the open world? So I mainly decided to only check out ones that are inhabited and near civilization. Wait a minute, it's called Angel Share and there's two angels sharing a drink on the sign? You know what that means. We should drink some more? No, it means I'm gonna share with you guys the most confusing places in Mondstadt. Now, just as it is for each region, Mondstadt's architecture and design reflects its real-life inspirations and the nation's culture and values. The people here live simple and carefree lives, and nowhere is this more apparent than at Angel's Share. Do you mind, Nimrod? Do you mind?
Yes.
Okay, so for a lot of these, I think we should start by looking at the outside of the building so we get an idea of where everything is, then go inside and see if it matches the exterior. Wait. This bit actually does make sense because that's where the stairs are. So there's a door at the back of the building here, a window there and there, and the door back here that does actually work. There's the balcony. Okay, guys, we're making progress here. These two windows are correct. Then the door here also makes sense. Window here, okay. So far, the interior matches. This is the tower where the stairs are. You probably could fall through these stairs, but don't worry about that. Oh wait, they're actually like indented too. They're not flat. Look how short Lumine is. She can barely see through that window. There's a window here, two windows there. Okay, this door works. First problem with Angel's Share, there's a door on the outside, but not a door on the inside. You would think this one is functional because it takes you back outside and there's stairs and everything. And no safety rails on the stairs. Nimrod out of 10. No windows that side. There is a window there. A window here. Let's go inside. Whoa. Lumine, are you okay?
No.
Okay, there is meant to be a window there and here. I mean, maybe they put the furniture in front of the window? I think there were windows here. And there should be a window here. I mean, it's a different window, but at least there's a window at the end. The shape of this interior doesn't make sense with the exterior, and there shouldn't be a window here. Okay, guys, are you ready for upstairs? Why? What is this, John Hoyoverse? Why does this even exist? You could have even just put like a table and some chairs in the corners and it would have been so much better. What is this? Why is there like two barrels here and just shelves and some paintings? What is this? Look at this picture. There's only one picture on this wall and it's right in the top corner. I like the design of the lower floor, especially. Has anyone noticed the windows have cat ears? Everything is cat. The chairs as well and the door. I think so far Angel's Share is the most accurate. Cat's Tail is a bit of a letdown, especially the upper floor. It shouldn't exist or it should just be inaccessible, I think. Okay, there's two doors here, by the way. Big door, two doors on either side, but you can't access those. Shut up, Albert. Someone put this guy in jail already, please. Okay, well, at least the doors are here. You just can't access them. But does that mean there are even real doors if you can't use them? Report it to the church. What? My inspection? Yes, please report my inspection to the church. Thank you. I'm not quite sure how the organ is playing. The church and Angel's Share, for the most part, are pretty accurate. Basically, there's a set of windows on every side of the wall, so we're already starting to see a problem. Maybe you can only access the tower bit from the top. Can you guys take a guess at what the problem is with Jean's office? I don't think there should be windows here. Either the windows shouldn't be here, or Clee's room is just that small. Also, I think there should be windows here too, correct? Yeah, because this is the front of the building, so there should be windows here. And I'm pretty sure the window placement here also isn't correct. Missing windows. These walls are not correct. Okay, we can finally access the second floor, guys. Only for them to do this again. Oh yeah, Albedo's room does have the same problem. Maybe Albedo made some magical windows. He's got some Fontaine furniture here. He's imported a teacup and a typewriter as well. Yeah, no, guys, look, I have John Hoyoverse on speed dial, okay? I can just beep boop, John Hoyoverse. I'll be like, bring, John Hoyoverse, moshi moshi, it's B Revity. I know, you guys watch me all the time. You love my stuff, don't you? Yeah, B. Well, you're such an amazing content creator. Oh, thank you, John Hoyoverse, thank you. See, he just said that. He said that about my videos. Now fix your windows. These tower parts have windows on all sides, basically. Oh my god. There's windows everywhere on Dawn Winery. Okay, this is really, really insignificant and stupid, but I never noticed that the windows, you can see the curtains in the windows. That is one whole room. All of downstairs is just one big room. The balcony that you can't access up top. Then we've got this little entrance here. Guys, this door also doesn't exist on the inside. A back entrance door here, but also is not accessible and I believe does not exist on the inside either. Look, these are just windows. You can't access the balcony. So the question is, how is Deluke accessing this balcony? What, is this just a performative balcony just for the show? Yeah, we seem to have a few windows missing in the towers. There should also be windows here on these two walls. I don't think there was a chimney on this side either. No, you're right. Okay, to be fair, I'll be fair with this side because there's that door on this side from the stairs. We can't actually see what's in this room, so maybe that door leads to whatever's in this room. There's just nothing. No windows either. But there's also like random doors. There's one there. One here? There's two doors here. Where are these doors leading to? This is the front of the building. Okay, so there's like a little bit of room in the tower. I guess it could be a tiny room. There's one over here. So there's just like a weird room over that side as well. And yeah, so the upstairs had 0 windows. Oh, we should check where the chimney is. This is where the fireplace would be. And there's just nothing there. There's a chimney here. Wait, what? There's 2 chimneys. What are these chimneys for exactly? John Hoyoverse. Liyue's interiors aren't that much better than Mondstadt's, I'm afraid. We've got an inn with no rooms and a shrine over on this side of the map that makes no sense either. After completing the Pervases quest, it is restored. However, as you can see, there are some tiny rooms on each side. The most they could be used for are storage or perhaps one single bed might be able to fit. Window there, and it looks like there's a second floor, but there isn't one on the inside. Wait, there isn't upstairs? Never mind, there's an invisible wall. What? Oops. These are the windows. Also the shape, I think the shape of this side should be elongated that way. Oh, there's a door here. Hold on, everyone, pause. Okay, this is on the right side of the building, so let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. What is this? There's a door here too. How will they get into this door? No stairs inside, so how exactly are they accessing this? There's like a walkway here, but it doesn't lead to anything either. There's not even any connecting doors. I think there is a bit in this building that isn't accessible. Like up there, it looks like there's an interior, but how do you even access that section of the building? It looks like it should be accessible, but it's not. So there's this side where there's doors to access it, but there's no way to access this side. Look, this is a whole building. Well, they have another office building, I suppose. How is this functioning? Look at this. Look, there's a door there. Who thought living here was a good idea, especially when there's a door falling to your doom. There's a waterfall right outside your door. You get a free shower if you live here. Can you imagine trying to sleep in that house? Keep note of these walls, everyone, as well as the shape of the building. There's a second floor, which is probably an apartment up here, and then ground floor is just the restaurant. Who can spot the problem in this interior? The walls are just windows. Literally windows everywhere. I don't think this quite matches the exterior. I guarantee this one is the same. It might be a case of there's like a foyer here, an entrance or a foyer here, and then the actual restaurant could maybe be on this side. Wait a minute, I've never noticed there's a door here. Oh, your building is kind of the roof is kind of in the ground here. In John Hoyoverse, you should probably fix that. No, this is just as bad. Yeah, I'm giving the restaurants a no walls out of 10. There's a door here that for some reason they blocked off with a cabinet. Don't ask me why. Just don't question it. And then there's also a door this side. Now, walk with me a bit more, okay? This is Baiju's room, okay? Are you ready? So if Baiju's room is on that side of the building, we come in through here. Bit of a problem. There's no door. These windows aren't on the outside. And then the shape of the building also doesn't match. I'm gonna call John Hoyoverse again. Boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, boop. Bring, 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 bring. John Hoyoverse? Yeah. Can you hand me over to the person that designed the top part of Liyue, please? Yeah, that would be great. I'd like to have a few choice words with them. Yeah, the Northland Bank is quite small on the outside. How did you even get the tree up here? How How? Also, why is there a balcony here with no access? Once again, what is going on here? Why is there just a bush? There's no windows in this interior, is there? It definitely, again, I think is a case of the interior looks larger on the inside. I've never seen this though. There's 2 doors up here as well. Okay, this is very unsafe. I don't even know how you're getting up here. Maybe there's stairs in like a back room somewhere inside, but then you come out of this door, probably fall off the roof onto ground floor. There's no rail here, so you could just accidentally step, fall, and look, I'm dead. I've never looked at these before though, because it looks like there's an upstairs. How are people getting up there? If Chen lives upstairs, I'm not sure. Maybe he's just teleporting. Maybe Chen is an Enderman. Yeah, it looks like it's big enough to have an interior. But the only part we have access to is the middle part. Oh my gosh. I don't think Lumina is that small of a girl. She's not a small girl. That is a giant door. Door that side. Door that side. The doors make sense. Inazuma is the land of eternity, though in this case it's more like the land of windows not being in the right spots. I'm just gonna see myself out. Ayaka's house is very simple. The window is shaped like a fan. That's really cool. See, this is why it's so cool looking at the architecture in Genshin, because everything is there for a purpose. These little parts are shaped like lightning. There's no windows on the ground floor. Oh no, here we go. First building in Inazuma and it's already inconsistent. John Hoyoverse. Well, that is just not what the wall looks like on the outside. They also don't seem to have any other accessible rooms, like a bedroom, for example. Okay, windows this side. I think these are technically windows here too. And here. However, I think this building is shaped wrong. The bathhouse is on this side, but when we go outside, it's physically not possible. The bathhouse is meant to be on this side, I think, but they ended up putting it on the other side. Yeah, the windows also aren't correct because on the outside of the building, there's bigger windows, but instead it's got these ones. I like that they've added like a skylight. You can even see the clouds. Oh, there is also a door here. So the ceiling also does not match the exterior. Because doesn't Mizuki mention it's also a hotel? So they have rooms. This is the only place where there would feasibly be rooms. Yeah, here we go. This is the spring bit. This is good. At least they added this detail. The bathhouse is located right next to a natural spring. You know, this also really irks me that you can't go back here. It is missing all its windows, by the way. And just the fact that you can't go behind the counter takes off a lot of points for me. Okay, guys. Just stay still. And she won't notice that we're here. No one? Let me know. Don't move. Don't move a muscle. We're not here. Well, okay, we are here, but we're here for an inspection. I love what you've done with the place, by the way. Kind of a vibe. There's a lot of purple. Makes sense, yeah. I always kind of assumed that's why. Oh.
You're trembling. Is it the cold or just cowardice?
Oh, are there doors? Oh, there are doors. Wait. Okay, John Hoyoverse fault of this. He added doors. Good to see there's safety rails. You know what? I'll add a few points to Tenshukaku just for the safety rails. I have to say, I'm really impressed. Safety rails all over the place.
It's a statue of Her Excellency.
Windows here, windows here. I don't think these windows are the same on the inside either. Okay, the shape doesn't match the exterior again, but the windows are also different inside as well. Why do they have windows on walls that connect to other parts of the interiors? So this side of the building, the walls are completely different. There aren't any windows on this side. Oh, this one matches though. So we have one window that matches. Okay, so I'm gonna go pray at the shrine, guys. Okay, I'll try not to fall to my death this time. Oh, look at the building. You know what? The upside is probably that it's really cheap to live in that house. Sumeru, the land of the
tuk-tuk.
And very poor urban planning. The city has quite a few interior spaces actually. Lambad's Tavern. This tavern suffers from inaccessible counter syndrome. An NPC suffers every day without access to the outside world. So please donate all of your primo gems to me to help them. But anyway, apart from that, there's also the other counters with no access, so I'm not sure how they're making and serving the food, as well as the upstairs one, and this balcony, which has no access point. Same goes for Puspa Cafe. Al-Hytham's house is a classic case of way larger interior. I mean, look at this place on the outside, and then tell me where exactly this window is. They sure are getting a lot of light from non-existent windows. And this building is definitely not large enough to house back rooms too, although I will say the house is very cozy, but the residents can be rather rowdy. This is another house like Pervasi's one, where it exists in the world space and as such has rooms that physically just don't work. The Academia has the best of both worlds, as well as some of the best lighting hands down in the game. Considering it's inside the tree, we can suspend our disbelief somewhat and assume that any other rooms are probably located inside it, but how about the ceiling? Realistically, the deeper part of the interior is located here, so shouldn't be getting any light. Finally, we have the village chief's house in Aru village, and Omg I'm is the goat. Look at that. Matching windows. Okay, well mostly, but it's better than a lot of the other buildings we've seen so far. You can just tell that this part of the interior was a set piece for the Archon quest. Oh my Archon, he even has a kitchen. Now Fontaine, well, because water, get it? So yeah, in terms of water, half of Fontaine's buildings are underwater, but let's take a look at what we're dealing with. Now, I've always been confused by the Palais Mammonia because the shape of the building from the outside doesn't seem like it could accommodate the offices that we find inside. These doors go into non-existent buildings apparently, because there's windows over on this side. Then you also have these oddly shaped sections either side that look like they're being used, but have no way of being accessible. Credit where it's due though, because the ceiling on the outside is made from glass, even if the shape isn't the same. Hotel de Board is another hotel scamming people out of rooms because there aren't any, and this building's roof is even worse than the last. This is how it looks on the outside, and then this is the inside. Would not recommend staying here. False advertising. Chiori's shop is very unique though. As far as I know, the only Fontaine interior that looks like this. While the shape might not be quite right, the fact that you can see the buildings from in here and they're all proportional gives it huge points. Also, these hats sitting in the window, just wanted to point them out. The Opera is pretty much just one really tall circular building, although even this building has the Genshin window problem, since at the back is where the stage would be, and inside there isn't actually any way to access Nouvelette's seat. The balcony seats at the very least have doors to imply they're accessible, but from where I haven't a clue. Natlan has barely any interior spaces. That is unless we want to count the stadium. The entirety of the stadium is enclosed on the outside, but head on inside and as you can see, there's a lot of holes in this roof. That's weird. Yeah, weird because they don't exist on the outside. A lot of the shopkeepers too have to climb over their stools if they want to leave. There's the Weary Inn with an open roof that just doesn't exist, but at least we have an inn with actual rooms this time. The blacksmith on the other side of the stadium also makes no sense, because there's nothing on the outside of the place to indicate a furnace, so everyone here is just stuck with smoke fumes inside. The speaker's chamber is pretty simple, so you can't go wrong with it. Never mind. This is Sitlali's house on the outside, and this is it on the inside. Once again, there is no place for the window. And there is actually one other building that has an interior, however it's only accessible during Zillanan's quest. Take a look at the picture of the interior, we can see this skylight also doesn't exist. Nodcry currently has the least amount of interiors, and two of which are located in Nasha Town. This is the curatorium on the outside, and I get the feeling this is going to be a Knights of Favonius situation, as there is only one tiny window here. So one, that tiny window does not exist, and two, these windows are pointing directly toward a wall. Putting that aside though, I would like to briefly point out some really cool things about this place. I love that the curatorium is a mixture of different Teyvat cultures, which obviously makes sense, not only because Nefer is originally from Sumeru, but because she is a merchant, and all the nations kind of converge here, so she has Nodcry, Sumeru, and Fontaine furniture. The flagship tavern is mostly underground, so doesn't have any windows and mostly makes use of a lot of colourful lighting. However, there are windows in the rooms, so I question how this works. And finally, we have Aino's house, which is essentially one giant ball and definitely way bigger on the inside. I mentioned that one house in Natlan that you can only access during a specific quest, and just for some fun facts, there are a few other interiors like this. During Emily's quest, we actually gain access to that hotel in Port Ormuz, as well as the restricted room at the Academia during Sino's quest. And there's one building back in Mondstadt that was event exclusive. During Furball Fortress, we find out that this place is basically a cat's shelter, and it shares the same interior as the Cat's Tail. This is the event that introduced petting the cats. Anyway, that's my inspection done for the day, so I'm just gonna head back to my house share.
Come over here and fight like a man.